So this is huge. This is going to affect our entire food supply, all right? How many more hits can our food supply take until there's a massive starvation crisis, all right? The UN warned last month of, quote, hell on earth food shortages are coming. That's what the UN chief warned, quote, hell on earth food shortages are coming. So this is something that we need to prepare for. And now there's been another massive hit to our food supply, all right? So not to mention the warehouse fires, everything else, gas prices going up. Now a massive fertilizer giant is collapsing, all right? They are no longer producing the amount of fertilizer that they need to produce. They're collapsing, they're slowing down because it is too expensive for them to operate with these unstable prices in the market, all right? Fertilizer prices were warned by a major Florida farmer, possibly the biggest farmer in Florida. You know, it's hard to tell who's the biggest in each state, but this is a massive farmer in Florida, and he was warning that fertilizer prices are up 300% for him, all right? He was warning that the plastic mulch is up 250%. He was saying his diesel prices are up a ton, all right? His seed prices are up. His pesticide prices are up. Everything is up. All of his input costs are way up, and that means his product is going to be way more expensive, all right? So this is huge that he's already saying fertilizer prices, his name's Alfie Oaks, all right? I believe his farm's called Oaks Farm. He was already saying fertilizer prices are up 300%. Now this massive fertilizer giant has collapsed, all right? So and this is just not an isolated incident. This is going to spread all over the place, all over the globe. And it's just starting here, right? This is just the start. So this is the headline: Fertilizer giant YARA slashes European output as energy crisis worsens. All right, so a lot of people don't realize that natural gas is needed in the production of synthetic chemical fertilizers like synthetic nitrogen, ammonium nitrate, okay? Natural gas is needed for this. So if the price of natural gas skyrockets, it becomes a lot more scarce, there's supply chain issues, then it's going to affect fertilizer capacity, all right? So it says the Norwegian producer said ammonium output in the quarter dropped to 57% of capacity in Europe, all right? So this is a European-wide fertilizer producer, supplies Europe with massive amounts of fertilizer, and their capacity has dropped to 57% of what it could be. All right, so they could be at 100, they're only at 57% because gas prices have gone up so much. So what does this mean for farmers next year? All right, everyone keeps warning of this. I keep saying this too and thinking about this because it's dangerous once these crops come in, all right? Very reduced crop yields already. Farmers are already cutting back, fertilizing less, planting less, all right? Certain farmers in California are planting, they have 2,000 acres and they're only planting 500 acres, right? Because of water restrictions, much less fertilizer. So this is happening everywhere. This is a global thing. Farmers are getting hit. What happens next year? What happens in 2023 when we're living off the harvest of 2023 and fertilizer gas prices are even higher next year, especially in Europe, all right? So capacity has been cut to 57%, and it says it plunged 81% just from the previous quarter. So just from the previous quarter, an 81% reduction in their fertilizer production, all right? And it says it warned output, sorry about that, I'm a little hoarse right now, all right? Sorry about that. It warned output could collapse to just 35% if natural gas prices stay elevated throughout the cold season, according to Bloomberg. So most likely natural gas prices will stay high. Okay, the Nord Stream pipeline has been shut off. oil, I mean, Europe does have natural gas reserves, okay? They do have reserves built up, but how long are these reserves going to last, and how can they logistically actually get them to the market, okay? Because these pipelines were set up to supply directly to markets, but the reserves are more for emergency use. So do they even have strategic ways to get it to people efficiently? And what happens when those run out in the middle of winter? All right, like, this could happen, or by next year, then what? All right, it's only going to be worse next year. We're still kind of in this buffer zone where we've had a massive hit to our economy, our energy infrastructure, and it seems intentional, right? And it seems like people want this to happen. Seems like there's plenty of people that are kind of like saying like, this is good. I think I saw multiple politicians coming out and saying that it's kind of good that the Nord Stream happened because it will accelerate us towards our goals of eliminating fossil fuel, right? So maybe this is a good thing that fertilizer is shutting down. Fertilizer, especially modern synthetic fertilizer, is directly tied to fossil fuels, right? Directly tied. What happens when fertilizer prices are 1,000% higher next year, right? This was already with the capacity wasn't reduced. There was sanctions put on, but things just shifted around. There was more fertilizer sold to China. You know what I mean? Different countries got different fertilizer, and there was still ways to circumvent these sanctions and buy fertilizer and keep the prices reduced on the global markets. You know what I mean? Because it's on a global market. Same with energy. These are global markets. So there was ways to buffer it and keep the prices at least lower than they would be if there was a complete shutdown. This is a shutdown of the fertilizer production in Europe, right? This isn't just a sanction where it's going to go to China, and then China will sell it to India, and then India will sell it back to Europe or somewhere. You know what I mean? There's been all these schemes going on for the past 6 months. There's been reports of India selling Russian oil to New York, all right? I reported on this months ago. All these countries are circumventing it, which is, it's keeping the price down, okay? Just from a realistic perspective, it's more oil on the market, so it's still keeping it down. It's a little bit jacked up, you know, so India can make some money, or whoever can make some money, China. But this is going to be a reduced capacity. It's just not going to be there, all right? This is going to be a scarcity. It's not going to be a political thing, all right? So let me know what you think. What are you doing to get prepared, guys? Please start growing food. Please get fertilizer stocked up now, right? You can buy big 50-pound bags of 10 at most, like Tractor Supplies, Home Depot. Maybe not this time of year because it is winter in most places, or it's getting there, you know what I mean? It's getting cold. They might not have a full supply, but even order it online. Stock up on this stuff now, guys. Get some. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be the best organic fertilizer, whatever. You can do that. But for survival, you need to just stock up and spend your money and get your money as furthest, you know what I mean? Stretch it as far as you can get it. All right, so stock up on this stuff now, guys. Look into winter wheat. All right, that's another crop that you can grow in the winter, and it might not even need fertilizer in your region, depending on where you are, depending on what kind of soil you have. It's possible you might not even need fertilizer. So look into winter wheat, learn how to grow these crops now. I believe you can have almost a full season's worth of wheat until next year, on 5-10 acres for your family. All right, obviously you're not just living off just wheat, but you can produce enough wheat for, family of 4 and 5 or 10 acres of winter wheat from my calculations. All right, that could be wrong, but it seems like a crop to definitely look into. All right, and this is something I'm looking into too this winter, because I've never been in an area where I can grow winter wheat, so I want to try to do this too. It's something I'm looking into too. So let me know if you've done this before. Let me know what you're doing to get prepared. All right, these times are coming, guys. It's coming. Fertilizer plants are shutting down their production. All right, very serious. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching. I'm super blessed to have you guys watch me, listen to me rant, and you guys have a big old blessed day.